Good morning, Year 5.
Has been a prisoner.
Quick question. There are two things that are missing. Can you spot them? Okay, did you spot them? One is my hair, and the other, my glasses. Now we're ready to roll. Fantastic. So we're going to start today's lesson, Wednesday the 3rd of March, by looking at word meaning. Okay, and these are all words, again, that we can use in our writing this week. They're all associated with King Henry and Tudor times. So what we're going to do is have a quick look at a glossary. Now you'll find a glossary possibly in non-fiction books, and basically there are words that are specifically associated or connected with a subject. Okay, so and sometimes you don't know what the meaning is of these words, so you have a glossary, which is like a kind of mini dictionary at the back of the book. Okay, and it means that you can look up that word and look up the meaning of it. So at the bottom of our glossary here, we have got some words. We've got 6 words. I'm going to read them out and just ask yourself that question. Do I know what this is, this means, or have I heard this word before? Okay, so the words are alliance, okay, charismatic, patriarch, reformation, instigate, and legacy. Now, there are some meanings to those words on the screen as well. So at the top it says make head of the family, to start something, to inspire people, something you leave behind or what you are known for, countries join together for a common purpose, and improve by making a change. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is to try and match up as many of those words as possible. Okay, so you can pause the video and have a go, and then we'll come back together and we'll go through them, and I'd like you to write them out as a glossary in your book. Okay, so when we've done that, if you're in the bubble, you might want to have a discussion. Okay, so pause the video now. I'll be back with you in a moment. Back again, guys. Okay, so we're going to have a look at our glossary, and this is when you can write them out fully into your book. So let's have a look. Top one, patriarch, is the head of a family. So we could say that Henry VII was patriarch to the Tudor family. When he died, Henry VIII became the patriarch. Okay, so the next word, to start something. If you instigate something, it means that you start something. Okay, so you might start a change in the country. The next one, I talked to Seb about this the other day, and to inspire people, the word is charismatic. It means you're kind of bright, sparky, people like you and what you stand for. Okay, so something you leave behind, or what you are known for, and that would be legacy. Okay, so Henry VIII's legacy was that he changed a lot of the way we do things in the country, okay, at the time, so he made a big change. Right, so we're getting down to our last 2. So countries join together for a common purpose, and that's alliance. And when we did our topic on World War One, the Great War, we talked about allies and alliance, so that about countries working together or fighting together for a common purpose. They believe in the same thing. And the last one, it has to be reformation. and that's to improve something by making a change. So Henry was known for the Reformation. In fact, you could say that was his legacy, what he left behind. Okay, amongst some headless women as well. Right, good. Moving on to the main task today. Okay, now hopefully yesterday you watched the 3 clips and you were able to make notes and gather your ideas ready for your planning session, which is today. So what do we need to think about? I'd like you to review some of the information that you've got, and we're going to try and structure them using some subheadings. So something that you could use in your plan. Now your mini biography is going to need a title. So I just came up with this one, The Life of King Henry VIII, which is quite straightforward. You might come up with something else. Okay, so you will need a title. You need a brief introduction. Now usually with our writing, when we do a recount or something like that, we use the 5 W's. Okay, so the who, what, where, why and when, and that's just a brief introduction about him. Okay, now you want to really think about the chronology of what happened within his life. So you want to write a little bit about his childhood and his early adulthood, so when he was a young man, so his family life and growing up. There was also a war going on with France, so if you've got any information about that, that would be a good place to put that into your plan. So Reformation, we've just discussed that word, and hopefully you're going to use that in your writing this week. And Reformation, he became the head of the English church, okay, or the Church of England, and he basically disagreed with Pope Clement and the Catholic Church because he needed to get divorced and the Pope didn't really agree to it. So Henry just said, well, I'm going to do things my way, and so he established the Church of England so he could do what he wanted. Okay, good. So obviously something we've discussed in detail in the afternoons, and we did our family tree at the beginning of the week. So wives and children, and we've all kind of agreed, I think, that when somebody says Henry VIII, we automatically think of his wives and what happened to them. Okay, and hopefully we've learnt a little bit about his children and how they are connected to the monarchy. Okay, so which ones of his children had a period at ruling the country or were in charge of the country, or for how long? So you can put in a little bit of detail in about that. Okay, check you've got some info in your notes. So death and legacy. So death, how did he die? Okay, can you remember how he died? And what the state of his health was like at the time he died. Okay, was he still fit and healthy and charging around on his horse? Or what had happened to his health? Okay, and then his legacy, what did he leave behind? What is he best known for? So it's almost like a summary of his life here. Okay, so how he died and the cause of death, what he did for England. Okay, so those are some good kind of subheadings to work with today. And there he is on his deathbed. And there he is earlier on in his life. Okay, looking fierce, powerful, a strong leader, a tyrant. Okay, right, good. So if you look in resources, there is a planning grid, a boxing up grid for you to use. So you can put your subheadings on this side of the grid, okay, down there, and there's one extra because you might want to do something else or include your own form of planning or subheading, and then there's space for you to write in your information. Okay, now at the bottom there is a box called Vocabulary Focus, and in that box I'd like you to include some of the words that you will use perhaps from our glossary or spellings of the week, and even time conjunctions, okay, as well. So you can pop those words into that box there. So I want to see you using some really good vocabulary today on your plan, so that will boost your writing on Friday. Okay, excellent. Right, so moving on, we'll just do a very quick recap. So when you make your plan, you don't need to write out all of the information in detail. You don't need to do that. You've still got your notes to work from on Friday. So this lesson is about organising your ideas and again highlighting that key vocabulary and phrases that you can include. Think about who you're writing for. So a biography is not just a list of facts. So we're not bullet pointing these facts. You want to make it interesting for your reader. You can include humour if you like, and your opinions about the events that took place in his lifetime. So you can express how you feel or what you think about Henry VIII as well in your mini biography. Okay, so there he is. Do you know who these two people are? Or hopefully you know that that is Henry on the right. Okay, so who's the chap on the left? Who do you think that could be? Okay, so that is Pope Clement VII, so leader of the Catholic Church, and obviously he kind of had that argument with Henry about the faith of the country. Okay, so think about your vocabulary today. It's really important. Think about your time conjunctions. You want to use those, and let's just run through our must down to our mights. So you must plan a mini biography. You should include names, dates, places and events. You could use subheadings. You might use questions and opinions. So it's always good to start your writing with a hook. So we looked at putting a question in our opening sentence or opening paragraph. Okay, so good luck with that today, guys. You know how important it is to do a good plan. So take your time. Okay, a good plan means that you are ready to write on Friday. Now, obviously tomorrow, Thursday, is World Book Day, so we're not doing our English lesson, so our writing is on Friday. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you hopefully for World Book Day. If you're tuning in to me, that would be fab. Okay, I'm just going to say orange.